Oh, I forgot you guys were coming today. As you can see, the 6.8 liter shop is kind of the staging area as we transition our house from fall decorations, which I can show you some of those, from the fall decorations to the Christmas decorations. Now I made everybody sick. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything today creatively, shop-wise. But you know what? I got an idea. Well, let's go through some of the projects we've done in the past. Like this one I did this year, this Christmas tree, and some of the ones I've done in the past for other Christmas projects. Maybe I can inspire you for a Christmas project. I'll add some links at the end of the video, and maybe it'll inspire you with something to do. Anyway, let's flash back a few of the projects that I've done that are Christmas based. Take a look. The project we're doing is on the 6.8 liter store. We have several drawings as well as products, hats, things, various prices. Most of the drawings $3, $4, $5. Today we're doing this ornament cut file. So you download that from the store and you will end up with a zip file, this zip file. And inside there's a DXF, so you could cut it directly without any editing. PNG is just a picture. SVG is what you really want. The license and an example ornament picture, more pictures, but what you really want is this SVG. So I'm going to drag this to the desktop and copy it there, and then right click on it, maybe right click on it, open with Inkscape. So there's the ornament, unedited, and the only thing you have to do is add the name that you would like on it and save it as a DXF, and you're good to go. So let's put a name on this thing. What's a good name? How about Joe? Okay, so you get your text. This is 1-inch text. It's probably could be bigger than that, but let's see what it looks like. Grab Joe and stick him on here. I usually just do the vertical placement by eyeball, but then you can center everything by arranging it, and you're good to go. You could save this, and first of all, you'd want to combine these, but the biggest problem with that is, well, let's do it. So select these, so both the text and the drawing are selected. Path difference. So now we have a single path that has the name cut out in the middle. But the problem with that is you would have just a circle where the O is, because it wouldn't keep the center of the O. It needs to be bridged. So what I like to do on that is click the node tool, and it shows all the nodes. And then I add a couple of nodes. Add a couple of nodes on the lower circle. And then I won't need these middle nodes anymore, so I'll highlight them and delete them. And then I'll highlight these two. Control Z is your friend. Highlight these two, and I'm going to get rid of the segment between them, which is this button here. And I'm going to do the same thing with these two. Get rid of the segment between them. And then a similar operation. Highlight those two and add a segment between them. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Add a segment between them. And you can play with it from there. We can soften this curve, this corner, by clicking this guy. Same thing here. Make it look like it was more natural, or an actual the way the font might actually look. And there you go. So now we've bridged the text. And if we zoom out a bit, we can take this, save it as a DXF, import it into the ArcDroid, and cut it out. It'll work every time. I did not draw this one. I actually bought it. I bought it from Bad Dog Metalworks for $0 because he has many drawings that he's done, and he's very good, that he sells. But this one, I was just looking at what the stuff he had and what it cost to buy a drawing. Because if you can't draw, I mean, some of us, CAD is cardboard aided design. We're not real good with the computers. I mean, I do use a computer for work, but it's not graphics related. Anyway, so some of us aren't inclined to draw something. If somebody else has already drawn it, though, we should be able to download it and use it. So you might want to check that out, Bad Dog Metalworks. I'll put a link.
I'll show you what I did. We won't go through the full process, but I'll get you started the right direction, and you can finish it yourself, or feel free to go to the 6.8 liter store and download it. So I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to change the document properties to set the background roughly the size that I want this Christmas tree to be. I'll say 6x9. That just gives me some guidelines to go by when I'm drawing. Alright, so how do you draw it? Get the Bezier tool, the pen tool, and let's see, so you see here 0 and 6, so I'll start at the top. Christmas tree is going to be right around here. 3. have Inkscape open. A couple of specific tricks that I did on that, and that's really the reason I did the ornament at all, was to mess with those tricks. So shout out to Bad Dog Metalworks, because I learned these tricks from his video. So, or his videos, multiple videos. Okay, so I'm going to do Merry Christmas again. And change my tool. Let's align these guys. And align the left side. And I'm going to move Christmas up. Say like that. Okay, so as I said, we're gonna cut these out. All the letters are gonna cut out, so we need to bridge anything with an interior piece like these R's and A. And I've done bridging videos before, so this is nothing new. But I will do one letter just to show. So first step, I'll do that on all these. Take both of these and do object to path. So now there are two paths, and then I'm gonna take this path and split it apart. So, whoops, path, break apart. So you can see now each letter has its own path, but the ones that have an interior cutout like the A and the R's are actually two paths. So I'm going to select the A and do path, combine. So now it's back to one path, and you would want to do that with the R's as well. So, well, that one I didn't split. So the R's split up. I'm going to put that back to combine. So how do I bridge those? This is what I like to do. There's other ways. You could create a rectangle and drop it across, say, this line. But what I'm going to do is take this path and insert a node here. Another node here, and I'm going to highlight these two nodes and go up here and say delete segment between. Highlight these two nodes, delete segment between. Then I'm going to highlight these two nodes and say insert segment between. And same thing here, highlight those two nodes, insert segment between, and voila, it's bridged. We can get rid of that node and straighten this up a bit. So there, that's how you bridge a letter. Okay. So let's zoom back out, and now I'm going to combine these back into a single path. Like I said, you would want to bridge the R's. If I was going to do the R's, I would do the same kind of thing I did with the A. Say I would do it right here on this R, and once I got it bridged, I'd probably delete each one of these R's and then duplicate this and paste it, so you don't have to manually bridge each one. But anyway, so we're going to take all this. Path, combine. So now I have a single path. So the next step is how I get the metal around this cutout. So the cool tool we are going to use is linked offset. So you click linked offset and it leaves you with this node right here. You drag that up. And I'm going to drag it till I see the least amount of defects. What's happening is it's trying to expand a path around each one of these paths, these things, and they overlap and they leave a few little artifacts. So I'm going to do that until I think it's about as clean as it's going to get. Something like that. And so what that leaves us with is this outer metal or outer path is a separate path from the Merry Christmas path that sits on top of it. So I'm going to highlight both paths and do path difference. So what that does is basically cuts the Merry Christmas out of the surrounding path and combines it all into a single path. So now I've got one path. But what we need to do now is zip through here and find all these little artifacts that we don't really want. So here's a few nodes just hanging out here that we don't need. So I'll get rid of those. You can see the bridged A there. There's some more artifacts that we don't want to cut out. Alright, I think we're looking pretty good. So that's that. Oh, the C is looking kind of ugly. Delete that one. Alright, so that looks like Merry Christmas. So the next, so there we go, we could cut that. But the thing is where do I hang it from? I don't really want to like hang it through the letter. It needs a loop, a hole, something to hang it on, right? But then where do I put it? Because I want to make it hang straight. Well, there's a cool tool for that. So let's highlight that. I'm going to use this selection tool. And then we can go extensions, visualize path, measure path. And make sure you set this to center of mass. It can measure area, length, and center of mass. And apply. So what it's done is figure out exactly the center of mass for our drawing, which is great, but I don't really need the center of mass. I mean, I guess if you poked a hole right here, you could spin that, it would spin until it stopped. It would spin evenly because it's the center. I don't know why it does it, but the center of mass tool is always huge line, 1/2 inch. Let's make it much smaller. And then that tells us that if I had a loop right here, Merry Christmas should hang straight. So let's do that. I'll take a circle, make it, I don't know, 1/4 inch. And then stick it right here so that it's on our center of mass line. I'm going to delete this because it's cluttering things. So then if we highlight these two and say path union, boom. Now all I got to do is poke a hole in that. And what size hole? Let's do 1/8 of an inch. 125. So if I take this guy, stick it right here. I could measure it, but I think I can eyeball that well enough. And then highlight them both again and do path difference. There we go. So we have Merry Christmas, a Merry Christmas ornament that will hang straight. So that's the center mass tool and the, what's the other one called? Linked offset that created the outline. So there we go. Let's go back out to the garage and cut some stuff out.
that's how it came out. I've got two nearly identical saws. Hopefully somebody likes them, since we're going to try to sell these. We'll learn what we learned from that. That's right, another Christmas themed project. Laptop guy was messing around on the laptop, because that's what laptop guy does, and he threw together a Christmas tree. So I'll show you. It's loaded up. It's kind of a Scrollwork based Christmas tree. Kind of tough to see with all the paths on there and everything. Alright, since this turned out pretty good, I mean, I'm happy with it. I don't know if you can see it better. The Merry Christmas tree made out of scrolls. Why don't we go back real quick and take a look at how Laptop Guy created this. I don't think he'll do the whole thing. I mean, trust me, he spent hours messing with this. But he can show you the techniques he used to create it. Well, hopefully you made it to the end of my little flashback video session here, and maybe one of those projects will inspire you to get out in your garage and do a Christmas themed project. I'll put links to in the description to each one of those videos, the full version, so you can find out how to do it. And at the end screen of the video, I'll also link the video, 5 or 6 of those videos, so you can just use your remote. Anyway, it's time for me to go get out the big ladder and try not to fall off the house as I put my lights up. But anyway, that's my gift to you this Christmas season, is an excuse to get out in the shop. If your wife calls you or sticks her head out into the garage and says, "What are you doing out here?" You can tell her, "I'm working on a Christmas project." Of course, that means then you got to work on a Christmas project. So there's some ideas for you. Get out there and do one of them, and I appreciate you watching.